Well, I think you're going to love today. There are some people who come into this world with a mission so important, they change the course of human history. Dolores Cannon was one of them. She didn't seek fame. She didn't set out to become a prophet or a guru. She simply followed her curiosity, and what she discovered would shake the foundations of everything we thought we knew about reality. But Dolores had a special gift. She was hypnotizing people, but when she put them into a trance, they went deep, deeper than anyone expected, and that most hypnotists were afraid to go into that space. And at that level, the deepest level of consciousness, something miraculous happened. Her clients stopped being themselves. They became something more, something ancient and wise, something that knew everything. Dolores called it the subconscious or the higher self. Others might call it the soul, the oversoul, or God consciousness. Whatever you call it, it had knowledge of the past, present, and the future. We're going to share that today. And it wanted to speak. Earth is splitting into two vibrational realities. It's actually much more complex than that. But overall, we're looking at a new Earth and the old Earth. I'm going to explain that today. Dolores said that that split began in December 21st of 2012. We are now coming up on another gateway. We're living through that split right now. Let's explore the life and predictions of Dolores Cannon. I'm going to explain what the split is, what happens, how it works. Does it happen overnight? Can you switch over if you change your mind? I'm going to go into all of that. You ready? This is great stuff. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube. We're here to break through the fears, the limitations. There are no limitations in the universe. None. Come on over and get my book. It may be the last spiritual book you ever read. If you have any fear right now, then let's put them aside. Dolores Cannon, we're going to talk about her today and her predictions on how all of this works. What's all of this? Our journey here. So I hope you'll subscribe because I've got more videos coming out as we transition into this very powerful gateway, this new era that's accelerating. Please share my videos, click the thumbs up. We guide the algorithms, not just on YouTube, but the planet. Whatever we focus on, we tell the quantum field and YouTube what we want. So choose higher messages and come on over, share my videos. And by the way, I have all kinds of really great stuff down in the description. I'm going to share that with you later. It's going to help you get through all of this. So let's get started. To understand the significance of Dolores Cannon's predictions, you first need to understand the woman behind them and her remarkable method. I'm actually trained by her as a hypnotist. Dolores Cannon was born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1931. She married her husband, Johnny, a career Navy man, and lived the typical life of a military wife, raising a family and moving from base to base. But in 1968, everything changed. A doctor friend introduced Dolores and Johnny to hypnosis. Intrigued, they began learning the technique and started conducting past life regression sessions with volunteers. It was simply a fascinating hobby at first, but Dolores discovered she had an unusual gift. She could take people far deeper than typical hypnosis into what's called the somnambulistic state, the deepest level of trance. That's a tongue twister. And at this level, something extraordinary happened. Her subjects, those who were hypnotized, didn't just remember past lives. They began accessing what Dolores termed the subconscious or the higher self, a part of consciousness that transcended individual identity and could answer any question about the past, present, and future. I'm going to see some of her books pop up here because if you haven't read them, they'll blow your mind. So over the next 45 years, Dolores would conduct tens of thousands of individual sessions, work with clients from 6 continents, publish 19 books documenting her findings. She had to publish herself because it was so out there, nobody would publish her books. She would train hundreds of practitioners in her technique, I'm one of them, and build a global following seeking answers to life's deepest questions. And we're going to hit some of them right here today. What made her work unique? Dolores wasn't channeling information herself. Let's get that right. She did not channel. She wasn't claiming to be a medium or psychic. She was a researcher, a journalist of consciousness, recording what thousands of people under hypnosis were independently reporting. So the channelers were the clients themselves that were under hypnosis that would gather this information. We'll talk about how that works. And here's what made her work undeniable. People from Australia to Alaska, from Japan to Germany, who had never met, never read her books, had no contact with each other, were all saying the same things under hypnosis. In fact, they would stop one conversation and she'd have somebody in another country, and the conversation would pick up again with these higher beings that were giving her information. Pretty cool, right? The information she received was about the nature of the universe, the soul's journey through lifetimes. We're going to cover that today. Contact with extraterrestrial beings. Ancient civilizations like Atlantis and Lemuria, I'm going to be comparing Casey and Cannon together. I am amazingly pretty much saying the same thing. And most significantly, a coming transformation of Earth and humanity. This is the era we are in right now. So in the 1980s, Dolores formalized her approach in what she called the quantum healing hypnosis technique. qhht. The method involves taking the client into the deepest possible trance state, exploring relevant past lives. It's amazing what my clients have said, calling forth the subconscious, that higher self, asking questions and receiving answers, requesting healing for physical and emotional issues. They were healing people who are doing amazing things in this trance state. The higher self would often heal physical conditions on the spot. You can do this too. This is why meditation, we're going into that space that she was going into, where the powers are endless. Documented healings that clients and their doctors confirmed. By the time Dolores passed away on October 18th, 2014, she had trained practitioners in 90 countries, published extensive documentation of her findings, built a framework for understanding human consciousness and evolution, and left behind thousands of hours of recorded sessions. Her daughter, Julia Cannon, continues her work along with thousands of practitioners worldwide. So let's talk about the information itself. What made Dolores Cannon's work so compelling isn't that she predicted the future. It's the thousands of people's higher selves predicted the same future, which I'm going to share with you. Session after session, client after client, year after year, decade after decade, we're 40 some years, the same message kept coming through. Humanity is undergoing a fundamental transformation. Earth is splitting into two vibrational realities. We are living through the split right now. It started in 2012. It started to accelerate. It is now accelerating as more of us understand this and start to go into the higher frequency. We accelerate it. So when we discuss Dolores Cannon's predictions, understand we're not talking about the visions of one person. We're talking about a collective revelation from thousands of souls accessing their higher consciousness, all reporting the same cosmic plan. And what they actually accessed wasn't just their higher self. It was a group of beings that communicated with her consistently, much higher frequency beings that were dictating books through these clients. So let's explore what they said. In her later years, particularly in the 1990s and 2000s, Dolores began noticing a pattern in the sessions. Client after client was bringing through the same urgent message. Earth is transforming. Humanity is splitting. The time is now. So let's talk about how that's happening. You may have heard about the 3 waves of volunteers. She published these findings in books, 3 waves of volunteers and the New Earth and the Convoluted Universe series. Mind-blowing stuff. We are living through the most significant moment in human history, a moment of choice, a moment of evolution, a moment of choice. We can do anything at this point. Nobody's going to hell in a handbasket. A moment when humanity would divide into 2 paths, those who choose love and those who choose fear. This is my whole channel is break through fear. It will exist. You don't have to believe it anymore. Dolores passed away at 83, but these messages are still in place, just like Edgar Cayce's. The split is happening. We're in it. And we each get to choose which Earth will experience. It is not one collective. Everyone experiences completely different realities, and we get to choose which one we want. And it contributes to the collective. What's the two Earth? We're talking about frequency here. The Earth has chosen to split off, actually, humanity has chosen to split off into two worlds, leaving those who want to continue to live in fear and violence to continue in the old Earth, and creating a new home environment for those who want to progress and evolve. A lot of you are saying, is it a physical thing? I'm going to go over that right now because it is a choice, and there will be those that say, see, nothing happened, while others will say, wow, it's finally happening. So, how does the split actually work? She called this the new earth, a shift in consciousness, not a location. We've talked about this. It's a frequency. I'm sitting here experiencing something completely different. I'm in this beautiful space, and somebody else is sitting here saying, oh my God, this is horrible. Get me off this planet. Two earths, two vibrations on the same planet. All right, we're existing here. It doesn't physically split off. You've seen that before. That's actually not what happens, although there are endless realities, endless earths, endless lives that you've created. And every time we make a decision, it splits off and splits off. We're not going to get into that. Just know that every choice you make does place you in a different direction. The two types can no longer live side by side on the same planet. Things have changed too much. So the vibration and frequency has to be changed. Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating at different frequencies, and the frequency has to be raised so the earth can split off and enter a new dimension. That's what we're going through right now. So according to Dolores Cannon's thousands of sessions where subjects channeled their higher selves, here's the exact process. Is it instant or gradual? I'm going to answer this question. Gradual, but relatively fast. When asked to give a linear time frame, the subconscious said it will happen over a year or two. When you look over the history of the world, that's a very short period of time, right? Well, I believe it started quite some time ago, back when the Mayan calendar ended and we thought the world was going to end. That was the new era kicking off. And now we are 13 years later, almost 14 years later, in this evolution, and it's accelerating. For each individual, the transition happens over about 1 to 2 years. For humanity collective, it's happening over decades. 2012 to about 2050 is the timeline. They cannot change their frequency and vibration quickly enough to follow. It has to be a gradual thing. Otherwise, it would be too traumatic for the physical body to handle. And this is why it's just not something overnight. Even Eckhart Tolle, I have gone into this amazing space, but it is still a journey that gets you there. And once you achieve it, you realize it was happening over a period of time. And this is where some of you will feel the physical effects of it. So think of it like this. You don't wake up one morning in a completely different planet. Instead, over months, years, you gradually notice that your reality is becoming increasingly different from the reality others are experiencing. My students at Digital Explorers all said that people are going through major changes. They're a little painful, but they're really good ones. People are leaving their lives. They're having physical changes. They're not hanging out with the same friends. They're changing jobs. They're doing all kinds of things. This, if you're experiencing that, is part of the transformation, and it's all good. So does it happen at different times for each person? Yes. It's individualized based on frequency. So both Earths exist simultaneously, each offering distinct vibrational realities. Remember, I told you, you're in the basement, you think that's your world down there. If you're up in the penthouse, you're going, hey, this is beautiful, great view, drinking champagne. That's how it works. So whatever frequency you're in, you're going to experience and think that that is reality for you. Individuals unable to elevate their vibrational levels will continue to exist on the old earth. That'll be ego, hoarding, separation, telling other people what they need to do, judging. And so their karmic challenges will be faced here in that. They're going to have to work that through. And all of us can handle that right now. You don't have to worry about killing somebody 100 years ago and you're paying for it. It can be handled right now. Their awareness, rooted in a realm of lesser vibrational frequency, will obstruct their ability to discern the emergence and the true existence of the new earth. They won't even know it's happening. If you're in the basement, you have no clue what's going on in the penthouse. Penthouse knows that there's a basement. They don't know what's going on there, but they're aware there's a basement because they were down there one point and made it up to the top. That's how it works. Everyone can make it up to the top. All right. But the bottom, the basement, they don't understand that vibration, that beautiful frequency exists for them in this lifetime. So what does this mean? You could be living on the new earth while your neighbor is still living in the old earth. You're physically in the same space, but experiencing different dimensional realities. When asked, what will their perception be of those who have transitioned? The answer was, they will not understand it. They won't understand what's happening to people going to that space. It's indescribable. You can't even tell people, right? You can't explain what you're experiencing. It's so beautiful. So here's a real world example. Have you noticed that some people seem to be experiencing a completely different reality than you? They're fearful, angry, seeing only darkness, while you're seeing beauty, synchronicities, and awakening everywhere. You're literally in different dimensional realities already. That's how it works. It's not like you disappear, your family disappears, and oh my gosh, I feel so bad for them. They're just still on their journey. It's neither good nor bad. It's just a choice here in this beautiful timeline. So, what will people experience during the split? Here's the physical process. They cannot change their frequency and vibration quickly enough to follow. It has to be a gradual thing, otherwise, it would be too traumatic. Body has to make some changes. We have DNA changes happening. Thus, the separation occurs. The two earths separate, and life goes its separate ways, positive and negative. It becomes more and more separated. We will notice that the world is improving. We're changing. We're living differently. And others will be living in the 3D world and say, we're going to, what, in a handbasket. What are the physical symptoms? Dolores observed various physical symptoms such as tiredness, feelings of depression. You'd think like, what? This doesn't make sense. Head pain, a feeling of unsteadiness, changes in heartbeat, high blood pressure in those adapting to heightened vibrational energies, physical symptoms like muscle aches, joint discomfort, or sensing ringing and tones might signal that an individual's energy is undergoing adjustments. It's like, what? This is supposed to be good. What? The body, it's been in a low frequency. It has to catch up. So be kind to yourself. Perceptual changes. Cannon's research indicates that Earth's electromagnetic pulse is closely linked to the transformation. We talked about the Schumann resonance. That's real. The sensation that days are passing more swiftly has emerged since the 1980s. Many individuals are struggling with issues related to their memory. You might experience brief instances where you forget the purpose of entering a specific area, right? Yeah, it's not just getting old. So sometimes you will experience memories of past lives. What's the emotional consciousness changes? One is an inability to tolerate low vibrational people and situations. I found it extremely difficult to be around anything low frequency, including television. I mute anything, including commercials. It's just, you can't tolerate it anymore. Sudden desire to change diet to lighter foods, an intense urge to simplify life and release attachments, getting rid of things, saying, this is too much. I don't need all of this. So many of you are doing that right now. Spontaneous spiritual awakening or remembering. I went through that many years ago, and it was mind-blowing. I didn't even know it was happening to me. So as you are shifting your frequency, you're going to be aware that things are different. Things are happening, and you may not understand it. All right? Just go with it and know that if you're meditating, you're taking all these actions that I talk about in all of my videos, all these steps, you're going to pass into the new earth. You can't do anything but if you're on the high frequency and you find nothing but light and compassion in others. Not telling them what to do or thinking you're better or special. We aren't. Everyone is equal. Everyone is equal. So what happens after the split is complete? So for those on the new earth, it will be peaceful and loving. Everyone helping each other. I'm seeing that happen here. When you lose the whole ego, you then use the most important piece of 3D. We will all be connected of the greater consciousness. So you're going to see group unity consciousness. Telepathy develops naturally. We've been reading a lot about that. The telepathy tapes with autistic kids, all demonstrating this is real. No more ego-based conflicts. Nobody wants to argue anymore about right and wrong. Natural cooperation and mutual support. Communities coming together. Physical bodies will eventually transform into light bodies. Access to higher dimensional knowledge and abilities, that's all happening now. Connection to benevolent extraterrestrial guides. There are forms out there, from light, other human-like forms, to orbs, to you name it. It's endless. It isn't just one thing. And only humans on this planet appear in this dense 3D body, but we still are that power, and we will start to go outside of our bodies and access that information. A lot of you are doing this. For those on the old Earth, that one statement, it will not be good. Their reality will be one of wars, hunger, and violence. What are the characteristics? Karma continues to operate. Fear-based consciousness will persist. More severe earth changes and challenges. Ego and separation consciousness will remain dominant. They'll still be arguing with one another, pointing fingers. I can't forgive so and so. What, really? Christ did. They will not understand what happened to those who transitioned. They don't even understand any of it. What's important? I need you to know this. This isn't punishment. Everyone who's walking the earth is here for the purpose of experiencing the shift. It's all a matter of self-determination, the matter of being able to choose. So some have learned their lessons and are moving forward, and some are stuck and can't get past it and can't make the shift. Those of you who are hanging on to anger and mommy and daddy didn't love me, is it time to move on? Some souls need more time in density to complete their lessons. Both paths serve divine purpose, both. So can you switch from old earth to new earth? Yes, until your individual transition completes. Till the day you take, the last hour you're here, that last breath, you can transition. All right? It's your choice. The split is gradual, which means you have time to raise your frequency and align with the new earth. The process is fluid during the transition period. So how to shift? Just feeling good, feeling love is all one needs to raise it. So that means focusing on higher thoughts, happiness, joy, nothing but positive thoughts. Everybody's DNA is being changed. It's all part of this shifting into the new earth. December 21st is a gateway. That doesn't mean something happens and you get left behind. It's an opportunity. Let's say a door opens, you decide not to go through it. There are other doors. There's never any limitations, okay? Your DNA is literally being upgraded. This science has done studies on this. This is really happening. Your DNA is being upgraded right now to handle the higher frequencies if you allow it through conscious choice and high vibration living. So what's the role of the light workers and volunteers? Not only do you hold the energy, but you hold the key to help others to release the energy as well. All you do is present the information. If they ask, don't be forcing your stuff on them. The decision to accept the information, to act on it, is the individual's. That's it. All right. And when you shine your light and somebody says, why are you so happy? What are you doing? You can share it with them. I go into meditation. I'm connecting to all positive thoughts. That all exists for everyone. If you're reading this, you're likely one of the 100 million volunteer souls. That means your job is to hold high frequency to anchor new earth energies. Share information like this. Share my video without forcing it. Be a living example of new earth consciousness. Help others who are ready to awaken. Introduce them to videos or classes or techniques or get groups together. So here's an interesting question. Is this the same as rapture? Okay. Traditional religious rapture. People disappear, are transported elsewhere, canon split. People remain in the same location physically, but shift dimensionally. They just experience something completely different. So as Dolores Cannon's daughter, Julia, said, the new earth is not merely a new place to go to that will magically make our lives better. It's a state of mind. It's a choice from a pure focus of intention available to us right here and now. It's a consciousness shift, not a location change, okay? I hope that helps a lot of you. You're asking this. So December 21st, 2012, there was an abundance of predictions concerning what was going to happen on that fateful day, predicted by the Mayan calendar, including predictions that the earth would split into two, the old and new earth. But Dolores emphasized that it was just another day on the man-made Gregorian calendar. There was no reason to be afraid. In fact, we should celebrate this date, not worry about it. And that's what we're going to do this 2025, December 21st. We're going to celebrate a new gateway, right? New birth. It will be celebrated around the world. Take some time out that day and know that you're passing through something amazing, and we have so much to look forward to. So many people were disappointed that there wasn't a bolt of lightning from the blue to launch them in a higher dimension. The belief is that we're seeing that process happening now. In other words, we're doing it. And the old thinking is that things happen to us and around us. And the new thinking is we're actually doing that. And so if we're doing that, what What are the limits? There aren't any limits. Imagine what you can start doing right now. I have all kinds of classes for you guys. I have free stuff. Go check it out. And right now, you can start to change everything in your life. It doesn't matter what the situation, you can do it. So let's talk about the three waves of volunteers. You might have heard her talk about that. Many of the people Cannon worked with in the last few years have regressed to timelines where they were light beings living in a state of bliss. They had no reason to come into Earth's density and negative. They volunteered to come to help mankind and the Earth at this time. They volunteered. That's why she comes up with a why volunteers? We've all volunteered. No. They volunteered specifically, didn't have to come back and work anything out. They came here to raise the frequency. So Cannon encountered what she considers to be the three waves of these new souls who are living on Earth. The first wave, they're now in their 40s to early 60s. Right now, they're actually more in their 60s to 70s. And they had the most difficult time adjusting because they didn't like the violence and ugliness they found in this world, and they wanted to return home. If you ever heard people say, I want to go home, they talk about home, they don't relate to this. That was the first wave. Most people who've been here for a lifetime after lifetime, they've become bogged down in karma and they're not advancing. They've lost sight of the purpose for being here. They're living in density. So a call was put out for fresh souls, let's just call it that, to incarnate here to help raise the mass consciousness. And about 100 million souls volunteered and are incarnate right now. So the split mechanics, key points, it's gradual, not instant. It will happen over a year or two individually, but it's happening over these next couple decades. It has to be gradual because it'll be too traumatic for the body. Notice the changes, go with the changes. And we don't need to criticize people whether they eat meat or not. That's their choice. But educate yourself on this before you put anything in your body, because that frequency and that vibration matters too. It happens at different times for each person. Both Earths exist simultaneously, each offering distinct vibrational realities. Those who don't raise their frequency, they will exist on the old 3D Earth, thinking that we are just, it's a nasty place to be. And they will be totally unaware of the new Earth. They won't even understand what it is. So what you'll experience, you're in the same place physically. You will experience a different viewpoint of, we're going to see things different. You're going to feel different. Your thoughts are going to be different. You will have less limitations in your thinking of how things are. If you read my book, I tell you, you stop thinking about anything because we don't, as humans, have the answers. When asked what those who transition will perceive, the answer was they will not understand it. So let's recap this. Tiredness, depression, head pain, unsteadiness, changes in heartbeat, high blood pressure, muscle aches, ringing in ears. You may be undergoing this, and some of you may not have any of that. The sensation that days are passing more swiftly, and by the way, there is proof that time is speeding up. So what will happen afterwards? It will be again gradual. You will notice a more peaceful and loving Earth where people are helping each other. I'm actually seeing that here. I had a conversation with my buddy the other night, and who would never talk about people on other planets, existence on other planets, light beings, are they here? What? And all of a sudden, he was open to it. He's volunteering at a food shelter. He gave me some great advice. And I was sitting there thinking, this is not the same person. I see him transitioning. He's connecting to compassion, and beautiful things are happening. You will not see another major war in your lifetime. You will not see it. Hunger will lessen, and there will be less violence, but those in the old world will see it accelerate. This state of mind is available right now. It is a state of mind from a pure focus of intention available to us here and now. So this is the prediction, is that if you choose the new Earth, you will live in something beautiful. I miss Dolores. She was ahead of her time, and that time is now. I hope you enjoyed this journey into her world and the astounding information she received from realms beyond our world. These are messages and warnings to those who are struggling and suffering now, that it's up to you. You must make the change. But most of all, these are guidelines for us to transcend from human suffering into something beautiful and amazing that is our origins. We just forgot. That's the game. It is possible, and so many of you are making that happen right now. So never stop believing that we are here to experience darkness, but to remember our light. We don't have to know why. Contrast is beautiful, right? You know the difference. That's all we're going through, but you get to choose that. You get to choose the sunshine. No one can truly know why, not in detail, except that Source seeks to know every form of itself, and we are one of those forms. This is by choice. We chose it. No, you didn't get thrown in. There's no prison planet. And everything in your life is your free will choice. So even if somebody did put you in a prison planet, you still hold this power. Nobody can get in here and change what you think and feel and choose. Never forget that no physical circumstances determine your inner choices of love and compassion, even health and abundance. You guys can end that right now. Use your powers. Now is that time. So I'm going to share with you that I have free inspiration. Go click that down and you might see it pop out here. It says free inspiration. And I'm going to help you on a unlimited soul journey. That's a new series coming out. I have workshops, I have classes, and I have a coaching session, and you have 25% off. If you go in the description and you click, you can schedule time with me and get a 25% discount, and let's talk. Let's talk and find out what's going on, and I'll give you some assignments, and you're going to need to start to take action. That's how it works. So I hope you enjoyed this. This was fun. I love Dolores. We're going to talk more about her. Again, please subscribe and share. And also, if you're looking for healthy choices, I have an Amazon store. Yes, it's Amazon. But the products that I recommend in that store are vegan, non-toxic, no plastic, super healthy and clean. And those are small business owners. So those of you who hate Amazon, well, right now, being on that platform has helped many of us reach millions of people. So let's go a little easy on them until we develop our own platforms. And maybe that's something you work on. Again, check out what I'm offering, digitalexplorers.net. I'm training entrepreneurs how to create purposeful businesses, but it's really a personal journey. And then we say, how do you want to monetize this thing? What do you want to do for a living? We're all here to contribute. Are you ready to do that? Because you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.